G'day mate, and welcome to Oxygen Not Included with me, JD. This is going to be a short little tutorial video all about your food prep and your food storage. I'm thankful enough I got Lindsay here who's just woken up to come along and help us with today's little video. So I'm actually going to start in the consumables list. Food is pretty simple. It does two things really. One, it provides calories per day. Duplicates need 1,000 calories per day. On top of that, as you go up the food list, it provides a higher morale bonus. Right at the top end, we have plus 16 morale, so that really high-end food that normally has to be processed a few times to get up this high, along with hard-to-get ingredients, gives you that morale bonus of plus 16. At the far other end, meal ice and muckroot, which are both items you really often get right at the start of the game, and nutrient bars, which you actually start with, give you a morale of -1. So this is something you need to take in consideration. You can actually have a debuff caused by your food. Very first thing I want to start off with is food storage. Now, you've probably seen people have done this before in videos and different screenshots. They've actually put their food in a little pit. The reason I've actually done this is if we go to the gas overlay, you can see that this little pit of mine is filled with carbon dioxide. Main reason I've actually done that is in a carbon dioxide environment, it is actually a sterile environment, which means food will last significantly longer just by popped in a carbon dioxide pit. It's not that hard to do, and it's one of those really easy things you can do to just get a little bit of extra life out of your food. On top of that, you have the two different food types. You have the ration box, which we all start with, which is a 2x2 item, even though it doesn't look it. And we also have the refrigerator. Now, the ration box holds 150 kilograms. The refrigerator holds 100 kilograms, but it is half the size. So if you put two of them beside one another, you actually get a storage increase for the same amount of physical space. Now, the refrigerator does complain if it's not plugged in. In saying that, you don't actually have to plug it in. Refrigerators can be handy if you have a pure oxygen atmosphere. You can put food in your refrigerator and get a little bit of extra life out of them by using a 120 watts constant power to keep the refrigerator running, and it will bring the temperature of the food down to 4 degrees over time. So food won't go in there instantly at 4 degrees. It will take a little while to cool down to 4 degrees. But in saying that, the refrigerator also puts out 500 duplicate thermal units worth of power. So again, something you have to take into consideration. I often use my refrigerators in a sort of a pantry style, so unpowered, in either a carbon dioxide pit or a chlorine pit. The advantage of a chlorine pit means any food that goes in a chlorine pit, the chlorine will kill off any germs that are around it. So that's what I normally do with my food. On to the actual food processing itself. So we have 4 different types of machines that we can use to process food. Micromusher is the one that we all get very early in the game. That'll let you make 4 different types of food. So we got the mush bar. Now the mush bar it's really only good if you're absolutely desperate. If you're absolutely desperate, make some mush bars rather than have your duplicate starve. It requires dirt and water, 75 kilograms of each to make 800 calories. Don't forget, a duplicate needs 1,000 calories per cycle to keep them up and running. So, taking into consideration, that means I need to feed each duplicate 1.2 mush bars per cycle to keep them up and running. Okay, Lindsay, you can go to the toilet. Go away. You're going to have to come back to keep helping us spot. So, mush bars is something you really don't want to use unless you have to. On top of that, if you feed your duplicates mush bar for too long, they'll actually develop diarrhea. Next one we have is lice loaf. So lice loaf comes from meal ice. Meal ice, again, one of those really early foods. It's down here. Meal ice from the mealwood plant gives you 600 calories worth of food. If we take 2 of those and put them together, and add 50 kilos worth of water, we can actually take the food quality from -1 up to 0. At the same time, get us 1,700 calories worth of food. So if we come back to our little list and we look at, gotta find it now. Lice loaf. Lice loaf's all the way up here. So we've gone from -1 up to a morale bonus of 0. So Again, a little bit of duplicate time, a little bit of water, we get a significant calorie increase. At the same time, we remove that negative debuff to their morale. Next one's tofu. Tofu actually takes nosh beans. So nosh beans are an ingredient. They're not something duplicates can just eat raw, unlike the meal lice. At the same time, also it takes in water and gives us 3,600 calories worth of food. Very, very, very good food if you manage to find nosh beans growing in the wild. Last one is berry sludge. Berry sludge is very, very, very good quality food. We're up to +3 already. At the same time, it takes in sleet wheat grain, which is, again, an ingredient. It's not something duplicates can eat raw. And bristleberry. This is it for our Micromusher. Now, you've got to remember the first 3 need water. So, I normally recommend early game, if you get a chance, once you get plum watering, just plumbed water. Just make a little pit. Put some water in there with just a liquid vent down the bottom, or just fill it up and then turn off the pump running the water into this pit. Whack in a pitcher pump, and as you can see, I've got 4.4 tons worth of water. That's going to make me a lot of lice loaf over a long period. Next 2 machines we actually get access to is the egg cracker and the electric grill. So the egg cracker will let you crack different eggs that you find out in the wild, or if you're already ranching critters, it lets you crack those eggs and turn them into raw egg and then cook them into omelette. So biggest thing with an omelette, and we'll cover that really, really quickly, is it needs 100 grams worth of raw eggs. If we look at something like a pinch row, they automatically come with 100 grams worth of raw egg after we crack it open. Something like a hatchling, same story, 100 kilos. If we go to a shine nymph for little tiny bugs flying around the map, they only give you 100 grams. So you need to be aware that some critters you'll be able to just crack 1 egg and get a omelette out of. Other ones you'll have to crack a couple of eggs. Something like a fry, which is our little fishies down here, they actually give 200 grams per egg. So in their case, you can actually crack 1 egg and then go make 2 omelettes. So going back through the list of our electric grill does actually require that Lindsay goes and gets the cooking level 1 upgrade. So if we bring her, where's she gone? Come back, Edie. Lindsay. Lindsay. You done? Oh, she was going to go get a pretty hat. Okay. Lindsay can now cook because she's got that level 1 upgrade. If we go to skills, learn skills, grilling. So she can now both access the grill and access the gas range. She doesn't actually need the next level of upgrade She doesn't need that next level upgrade to be able to actually access the gas range, which is a later tech machine that we're going to cover in a bit. So, mush fry, if we remember back here, we can make mush bars. Mush fries are a very, very good alternative if you're forced to make mush bars. So, mush bars, if you remember, had a calorie of 800, really, really bad, and a quality of -1, also can cause diarrhea. If we go and deep fry them, it brings the calorie count up, so it is enough to feed 1 duplicate per day. It also takes the quality up by 1, and it removes that chance of diarrhea debuff. So, if you're forced to make mush bars, please, 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 for the sake of your duplicates, please cook them. Next one we have down the list is fried mushroom. So, as I said, I've spent whole games where I have just fed my duplicates nothing but fried mushroom for the whole game, because it's really, really easy to actually get. So we have fried mushrooms up here at morale +1, and here's somewhere I should have mushrooms. So I can take mushrooms and I can fry them to get a morale bonus of +1. At the same time, calorie-wise, it adds 400 calories. So not a big difference in the calorie count, but it's quite easy to do for that very, very quick upgrade to their calories. So next one we have is gristleberry from our bristleberries. Really, really easy one again. Literally takes in 1,600 of the raw ingredient, gives us 2,000. Just a little bit of duplicate time and labor spent on it. Pickled meal. Pickled meal's sort of unique. So meal lice. What's the best way to look up meal lice? Let's look up meal lice. So meal lice spoils in 4 cycles. If I come over to pickled meal, and I bring up pickled meal, we can see it actually spawns in 16 cycles. So if you want long-term food storage, pickled meal is one of the better ones, along with berry sludge. Berry sludge, spoil time, never. So berry sludge is one of those things that, as long as you're storing it in a non-germy environment, it will never, ever, ever go bad. It doesn't come with any calorie bonus, so it's something you need to keep in mind. Also, the quality is not that good, but it does last for a very long time. Next one we have down the list is cooked fish. So cooked fish is quality of good 3. That is pretty impressive from taking one of our paku, clicking this little button here, waiting for duplicate to do their business to evolve it into its greater, meatier form. Very, very easy to do, and if we go back to our grill, we can see cooked fish goes from 1,000 calories up to 1,600 calories. Very, very, very easy to do. In fact, Lindsay's more than happy to oblige and get back here. She's going to put it in the wrong machine. Oh no, she's put it in storage for us. Isn't that nice of her? Next one we have is barbecue. Barbecue is the exact same story. We can take our hatches that we find laying all over the map. We can click this button again and evolve them into their meatier form to give us barbecue. Barbecue takes us from 3,200 calories up to 4,000 calories. So again, a very, very quick way to increase the calorie count from pure meat, which, as you can notice, one hatch does give us 3,200 calories, which is the exact amount we need to make barbecue, and takes it up to 4,000 calories. Also will take the quality of the food. So meat's down here at -1. If we turn it into barbecue, where is barbecue? Barbecue's up here at +8. So not only do you get that calorie bonus, but you also significantly increase the quality of the food. Cooked fish is up here at +8 as well. Whereas if the thing stops sliding around all over the place, paku fillet is down here at just +4. So it's a significant increase once again for just cooking it. Lastly, we have the frost bun. So the frost bun is the sleet wheat grain. So again, that's just a pure cooking ingredient. Actually turned into something the duplicates can eat at 1,200 calories. Not so bad food-wise, but sleet wheat grain is one of those harder to get ingredients. 9 times out of 10 people don't actually cook it themselves. Don't actually grow it themselves. They'll just harvest it wild from the different biomes. Next actual building we have is the gas range. So the gas range is a brand new building that came out with the launch upgrade of Oxygen Not Included. It gives us your really, really high quality foods. It also comes with 2 catches. So if we go into food and we can see the Micromusher, 240 watts with 2.5 duplicate thermal units worth of power, worth of heat. A little bit power heavy, and the heat's not so much of an issue because you're not running it all that often. The electric grill has just 60 watts worth of power, but it does put out 4.5 thousand duplicate thermal units worth of heat. At the same time, it does remove diseases. So if you have any diseases that are on the raw ingredients, once they're cooked, they will be disease free. They can get disease on them again, but they were disease free. Next one we actually have is the gas range. So the gas range has 240 watts worth of power, which, considering how late in the game it is, it's really not an issue at that time. But it does require 100 grams per second of natural gas. Now that is something you need to take into consideration, that you're going to have a constant supply of natural gas into this machine to keep it running. On top of that, it actually outputs 9,000 duplicate thermal units worth of heat, which sounds like a lot, but as I said, considering it's late game, it probably doesn't matter. You've probably outfitted your base, hopefully with air conditioning by that point. But the one big thing it does do is it outputs 25 grams per second of carbon dioxide into the immediate atmosphere. It has a gas pipe in, right there. If I could build stuff in straight lines, that's even better. I destroyed the wrong pipe. But it doesn't actually have a gas output, so the carbon dioxide gets released directly in the atmosphere around it. Now, if you have a food storage pit nice and locally, that's probably perfectly good, because it means it's going to keep making sure that the food pit stays full of carbon dioxide. The other thing that you're probably going to need to do is somewhere near it put a carbon skimmer, ideally I put mine left and right of the gas range, just entering and leaving the kitchen, so the carbon dioxide can't actually fall out of the kitchen and flow through the rest of my base. Going down the list, so we have stuffed berry. So stuffed berry is our gristleberry, plus it's pinch of pepper nut. Pinch of pepper nut is another one of those ingredients. So if we come over here and we go cook ingredients, we have a couple of cooking ingredients. Turns out I don't have nosh beans written in here. So there's really those three cooking ingredients. We have the nosh bean, the pinch of pepper nut, and sweet wheat grain. Stuffed berry is gristleberry, which we have to already process once from bristleberry into gristleberry, and then from gristleberry into stuffed berry by adding some pinch of pepper nuts. Again, pinch of pepper nuts, one of those harder to grow in the wild videos. I will actually have the very next video following this one. We'll cover all the different plant types, their pros and cons, how to grow them domestically and in the wild. So again, it does slightly increase the calorie effect, but at the same time, it's mainly about that quality. So we went from +1 all the way up to +4. So significant increase in the quality of the food. Next one we have is mushroom wrap. So the mushroom wrap takes our fried mushrooms. So again, we're double handling our food. We're taking our fried mushrooms at 2,400 calories with a quality of +1. We're taking 2 of those together, wrapping some lettuce, and it brings us up to a quality of +4. So you are using, what's that, 4,200. So it's not much of increasing the amount of calories, but a significant increase in the quality of the food. Next one we actually have is the surf and turf, which takes in our barbecue that we had already from our lovely Hatch, who donated his media form to give us barbecue. Plus we have our cooked fish from our Paku, again donated himself to the cause. Add the two together and we actually get a surf and turf. This brings the quality up to +4. So if we go back to our consumables list, we already know that our cooked fish is up here at +8. Our barbecue is up here at +8. If we go up to a surf and turf, we add the two together, we actually go to a +12. Don't forget, that's 6,000 calories. That is actually going to feed 6 duplicates from that. That didn't help. 6 duplicates, okay, or 1 duplicate for 6 days, all depending on how the duplicates decide they're going to treat themselves that particular day. Because a duplicate will only eat 1,000 calories worth of food. The rest of it, they're going to drop on the floor, hopefully in the mess hall, because that's hopefully where they're eating it, but honestly, they'll drop it wherever they feel like, and hopefully another duplicate comes along and eats it in the next meal cycle. Next one we have is pepper bread. So pepper bread takes in the sweet wheat grain and the pinch of pepper nut. Again, these are both ingredients. Pumps out pepper bread, 4,000 calories at a quality of +5. So as you can see, we keep going up in that quality list over and over and over. Next one we have is spicy tofu. It brings in our tofu, which was all the way down here. Remember, this is going to take in water, so it's something you need to consider. This is one of those few ingredients that will need water, which means you need a source of clean water for your duplicates to be able to actually... Okay, fine. Go to the bathroom. Sheesh. You will need actually a source of water to make your tofu, to then bring it over here and make spicy tofu. So we went from a quality of +2 all the way up to a quality of +5 by adding just a little bit of pinch of pepper nut. Actually 1 unit of pinch of pepper nut. So this is a very, very good recipe to make if you can get the spicy tofu, because the tofu, again, it's really a ingredient. So we're taking 2 ingredients and double handling them twice to give us a quality of +5. The last one we actually have is the frost burger. So the frost burger is probably the hardest one to make. You need frost bun. So if we come over here, we need a frost bun at 1,200 calories, which uses sweet wheat grain, so that's an ingredient. We then need a lettuce. Lettuce is a raw ingredient that we didn't really cover, but lettuce is just lettuce. It's boring, it's simple. It does grow in the wild. You can domesticate it. At the same time, we need some barbecue. So we're bringing in 5,600 calories. We're cooking the whole lot together, and it gives us a quality of +6. So this is the highest quality food that your duplicates will actually get. On top of that, it's the only food that actually has a soul food bonus. So the soul food bonus comes with a catch. It is minus, I want to say 20% stress. Maybe it's just 15% stress for 2 cycles. On top of that, it actually has a debuff as well. So if we go to Lindsay here and we go to her skills, we can see she has an athletics of 3, but -1 for a sore back because she decided to sleep on the floor in the kitchen. If I fed her the Frostburger, she would actually have a skill of 0 at this point because it actually has a -2 to athletics. Because look, it's like a celebratory dinner. You know, you're full, your tummy's stuffed, you just walk around a little bit slower. So that is the list of the foods. Don't forget that your Frostburger, which has a +6, your spicy tofu, which has a +5, and your pepper bread that also has a +5. We go over to our consumables tab, we can see that our, where are we? It's the last few. This has the Frostburger has a morale of 16. The spicy tofu also has a morale of 16, and the pepper bread also has a morale of 16. It's not until we get down to the surf and turf, which is actually one of the easier ones to make. You just need to domesticate some sort of animal and domesticate some fish, and run both the grill and the gas range in tandem, and you get surf and turf. So surf and turf is actually one of the really easy ones I've found to cook. But yeah. You can opt not to have that soul food buff and debuff by just making spicy tofu or pepper bread. Again, +16 morale is an awful lot. 9 times out of 10, your duplicates actually get most of their morale bonuses from their rooms and from their decor around them. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys found the whole meal preparation and cooking to be helpful. Like I said, if you found the video helpful, click the like button, please. It really helps everybody else. Well, it helps YouTube know that you like the video, and more importantly, other people might find it helpful and hopefully recommends it to them. At the same time, if you really like this and you'd like to see more videos like this, I am covering how what the different raw foods and different plants are in an upcoming video. Probably going to be out tomorrow, maybe the day after. If you do like that sort of content, click the subscribe button now. At the same time, turn on the notifications so you will get notified when that video goes live. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.